At this stage of the painting, I am working on what I call the second painting. Up to now, we have already established the hue, the value, and the chroma of the different areas of the mouth. But in this stage, I add another. I know, so many things to think. This is why painting is hard. I add another important dimension to the paint: temperature. Here you can see me getting rid of the green hue she's having on her left cheek. This hue is an indication to me to stay cool where the light fades. Temperature refers to whether a color feels warm or cool. If you wonder what I'm talking about, there is a video that I've done explaining just that. Oops, too dark. She seems to have a big beauty mark. Let's get rid of that. But here, when two areas share the same value, I can create subtle variations by adjusting the temperature of the color. This is why you see me adding a pinkish hue on her chin. This is to change the temperature from a warm brownish orangey to a cool pink. Notice that these hues are of the same value. These temperature shifts can be very subtle, but they are extremely important. This other tool helps the painting feel more alive and prevent the surface from looking flat or mechanical or paint by numbers. In portrait painting, controlling temperature is one of the many keys to achieve realistic and convincing skin tone. So in this stage, I am carefully adjusting those warm and cool relationships while refining the forms of the mouth. I will also have to work the corners of her mouth because she seems to have a little too much of raspberry ice cream. Kinda like my 2-year-old would make a mess. Let's talk about reds for a moment. Here I am making up a new palette for my reds. I have from left to right titanium white, yellow ochre, cadmium orange, vermilion, alizarin crimson, and raw umber. Realist figure painting is very hard to do, there's no news to this, and I like to make my life easier. This is why I like to work with a limited palette for my skin tones and work with as few color mixes that I can to paint what I see. However, when working with reds, we are running into some hard problems. You will affect your chromas by mixing your CADs with the other colors of the palette, especially with white. Mixing white with red will never ever give you a bright red. You will end up with pink, which is not even the same hue and of a much lower chroma. Since we are painting lips in this video, I only had to add vermilion to my red palette to have a bright high red chroma. I am now working on a new project where I will dive into reds and how to deal with them. So stay tuned for this next project. The lower lip demands that I paint more color, aka more values, hues, chromas, and temperature. Since in a mouth, the lower lip is the area that catches light, this is where you will paint your information. Information in portrait or figure painting means where the chromas and the warm temperature, the bright light hue will be. Here I am applying 2 small dabs of white paint. These are called impastos. They are meant as a couch to put your highlight in an area. Like I explained earlier, you have to be really careful with your reds. So I will let them sit there for a while to give them a time to dry, and I will mix my highlight into these 2 white dots of paint. Since my highlights are cool and I will have pink while working in these white dab, it doesn't matter. If you have a warm highlight in your red, you will have to let it dry and apply a glaze of warm red over it. My reference picture is a detail from the painting Méditation 1901 from Bougreau. I have posterized this picture in GIMP. You can download it on my Discord server under Studio Process. I have a quick update about my Patreon that I would like to share with you. I've decided to improve one of my tiers. Instead of offering just one Zoom session per month, I will now be offering 2 1-hour Zoom sessions every month. I think that this will give us more time to discuss painting techniques, answer questions, and connect as artists. And if you simply want to support the channel, you can join my support tier for as little as $5 a month. Your support helps me continue growing the channel and producing high quality videos to help you improve in your own artistic journey. You will find the link to my Patreon in the description below. Thank you so much for your support. Now is the time to work in those impastos. Since my highlights are of a pink hue, I don't have to let them dry and can work with them with some vermillon. You may have noticed something. My disposable palette has a life on its own. I'm solving the problem with the most sophisticated studio technology available, tape. And that brings us to the end of this tutorial on painting the mouth, and also the final lesson in my series on how to paint facial features in oil. Let's quickly recap the steps of this method. We started with the local colors, where I established the base colors of the different areas and made sure the proportions and likeness of the model were correct. Then we moved on to the first painting, where the goal was to develop the forms and give the mouth the three-dimensional structure that creates the illusion of realism. And finally, we completed the second painting, which is really the icing on the cake. This is where I refined forms, adjust the colors, and add those subtle details that bring the painting to life. I really hope this series has shown you another way to approach realistic oil painting beyond the traditional grisaille method. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps my work and reach more artists like you. And as always, your comments are very welcome. If you'd like more in-depth guidance and even one-on-one help with your paintings, do not forget to check out my Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Happy painting!